to our fourth Moody Talk on interpersonal effectiveness. If you haven't watched the past 3 videos, I highly recommend that you go back, because I think interpersonal effectiveness is something that we have never actually been taught. We've never been taught how to communicate with others, especially during conflict. And as I've said many times before, conflict is something that people do not want to deal with. They run away from it. They try not to have it. They give in to conflict. So interpersonal effectiveness, especially in the DBT sense, is helping you to better communicate effectively in the way that you can get what you want. You can keep the relationship that you have with the person, and also your own self-respect during this conflict, meaning not giving in to going off of your own morals, right? So this week, we are talking about self-respect effectiveness. Last week, it was relationship effectiveness, keeping the relationship healthy. And the first one was objective effectiveness, which is getting what you want. Okay, so this one I think is really, really important to learn, because I do believe, and I'm this way too, I am the person who will back down in a conflict if it goes on for too long, if it gets too heated, if I feel threatened. Okay, so learning a little bit more about self-respect effectiveness, I think, is important for us all. We don't want to leave a conflict, leave communication with someone feeling like we did something wrong against our own feelings, our own beliefs, right? So let's get into it. DBT uses the acronym FAST for this. So guidelines for keeping self-respect effectiveness, keeping respect for yourself. It's called FAST, okay? And so we'll go right into them. F is going to be fair. Be fair to yourself and to the other person. Remember to validate your own feelings and wishes as well as the other person's. So this is, there are a lot of us who are very empathetic, and we tend to care more about the other person's feelings at the cost of our own feelings, right? And I think it's important for us to remember that our feelings are just as important as the other person's. And we can be empathetic to someone or sympathetic to someone without causing us discomfort and pain, right? Okay. A is for no apologies. Don't over apologize. No apologizing for being alive or for making a request at all. No apologies for having an opinion, for disagreeing. No looking ashamed with eyes and head down or body slumped. No invalidating the valid, okay? Let's get really, really into this. So no apologies. Again, it says we're not apologizing for who we are, for even breathing air, right? Or even asking for something. We don't need to go into a conversation asking for something like, I'm sorry to bother you, or I'm sorry that I need to ask you for this, right? We don't have to be sorry for asking questions. And it's something that a lot of us have that immediately spurts out of our mouth, right? I'm sorry, but that is setting ourselves up for not getting what we want. It makes it feel easier for the other person to be like, well, they feel as though they're a bother to me, so why should I give them what they want? This makes it easy for me to turn around and say, well, no, right? Or you can't do that, or you can't have that, right? You can't get what you want, because you're already showing to them that you're being meek about it. You need to go into a conversation, and I got to give this is the same information I need to keep for myself. Going into asking for something, getting what you need, does not have to require us to be shy about it, right? If we need something, we need it. If we want something, we want it. So we're going to go into that conversation with, the real feeling that you are going to get what you want, right? That asking is just a step towards getting what you want, not setting ourselves up for being told no immediately because we came at it like, I'm so sorry to ask you this, but. Okay. Also, no apologies for having an opinion. I think this is also very important because there are conflicts that we have that are about not getting an objective, but just feelings. Like, I feel this way about something. I mean, especially in this political climate, we are having a lot of different discussions across the aisle politically. And, some of them are very, very heated and difficult emotions that we get when we're talking to others that don't feel the same way we do. You don't have to apologize for getting, hyped up about something that you truly care about, right? And again, if you apologize for that, they're going to see it as a weakness. Don't let them see a weakness that they think that they're going to be able to win a battle, a conflict over you just because you're apologizing to them. I'm sorry that I don't agree with you. That's just setting yourself up for saying, go ahead, walk on me about this. Okay? Then we have no looking ashamed, right? With eyes and head down or body slumped. When we're talking to someone that we need to uh, to end a conflict or get something that we need to look confident. We can't look like we're just, ready to give in to something automatically, right? That's not how we're going to get what we need. And again, it's about self-respect. You need to go into this with the idea that you are going to get what you want. Okay. And then the no invalidating the valid. And this is for both sides. Don't invalidate something that you feel strongly about, especially when it comes to morals and the beliefs that we have, right? So don't invalidate yourself and don't invalidate the other person. S, stick to values. Stick to your own values. Don't sell out your values or integrity for reasons that aren't very important. Be clear on what you believe is the moral or valued way of thinking and acting, and stick to your guns. Okay? Again, self-respect. Self-respect is, standing by your own morals, your own values of life. And when we don't do that, we get guilt. The emotion that comes from that is that we feel guilty when we, don't follow our own morals, our own beliefs, right? Stick with your values. Do not do something that you do not feel is right, that is not a part of your own belief system. Okay, because you are going to not like yourself after that. You're going to feel guilty because that's the emotion that comes up when you go against your own morals and values. Okay, and then finally, be truthful. Don't lie. Don't act helpless when you're not. Don't exaggerate or make up excuses. This is really important, okay? And I'm going to say that because when you lie when you're in conflict, when you lie when you're in conversation with someone, there is a very, very, good understanding that that lie may very well come up to bite you on the ass in the end, especially if the conflict is very heated. And the other part of it saying, don't act helpless, right? No, you're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to do it. You're not trying to manipulate people. And that's what I think this is really getting to. No lying, no manipulating people. Okay? Don't start crying or trying to cry to get that person's emotions up and to change their mind about something because you are serving them this feeling of helplessness. Some people, they feel very uncomfortable with others when they feel helpless and they want to help that person. I'm the same kind of person. When I see someone who is sad or scared or any of these kinds of things. I want to help them immediately. It's just who I am. I was the caregiver since I was a little girl. So that is manipulation. And it's not fair. It's not right. And I would consider that something that goes against my values. So I would definitely feel guilty afterwards. So be truthful. Tell the truth at all times because you don't want it to bite you in the butt. And be strong and be, strong in your truth. So I hope that this helps, fast helps to better understand how we can keep our own respect for ourselves and not get guilty after going through conflicts, right? So have a great rest of your week. I will be doing a bonus episode next week about troubleshooting. What happens when, these things that I've been talking about don't work, and what can we do going forward, and how can we better troubleshoot to see what may actually help in interpersonal effectiveness. So